Okay, let's dive right in. We're about to unpack one of the biggest, most uncomfortable truths about weight loss. A truth that explains why so many diets just don't work. It's an idea that really goes against everything we're told about having a so-called balanced diet. I know that sounds totally extreme, right? Almost ridiculous, but stick with me because by the end of this, you're going to understand the powerful biological trap that's hiding behind that statement. And you'll see it has almost nothing to do with willpower. You know, when it comes to dieting, it feels like we're always presented with two paths. On one hand, you've got these extreme, miserable restriction diets, and on the other, you have the very tempting, very reasonable sounding idea of eating everything in moderation. And let's be real, those restrictive diets are just brutal. Most of us have tried them, we fail, and we quit feeling completely defeated. So, of course, the moderation approach seems like a breath of fresh air. It sounds logical, it feels freeing, but what we're about to see is that it's actually a very well-disguised trap. So think about that one little treat, like a cupcake. Seems harmless enough, but that one little thing can be a total calorie bomb. We're talking up to a quarter of your entire day's needs. But you know, the calories aren't even the main problem. The real issue is that these ultra-processed foods are literally engineered to make you want more. They're designed to completely bypass your body's natural I'm full signals. So many of us blame weight gain on just getting older. You've heard it, I've heard it. Oh, my metabolism just slowed way down. But what if the real culprit isn't your age? What if it's a predictable process that starts not in your stomach but in your brain? We need to call it what it is. It's food addiction. And this cycle is so sneaky. It all starts innocently enough with anticipation. You're just thinking about that pizza or that ice cream. Then you indulge and wham, your brain gets this massive pleasure hit. But then the problem starts, desensitization. Your brain gets so overstimulated that natural foods like a crisp apple start to taste, well, like nothing. And that leads directly to dependence, where you need that bigger and bigger hit just to feel normal. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? We treat this like it's a character flaw, a lack of self-control. But what if it's a genuine addiction? For someone who's caught in this cycle, telling them to just have a little is like telling an alcoholic to just have one drink. It totally misses the point about what's happening in their brain. And this isn't all just happening in your head, not by a long shot. As you start to gain weight from these foods, your body's own hormones actually start working against you. They create this powerful physiological trap that's incredibly hard to escape. So here's where it gets really complicated. Your body can develop something called insulin resistance. When your insulin is high all the time, your brain actually gets physically rewired to crave more and more of the exact foods that are causing the problem in the first place. It's not just a passing thought anymore. It's a powerful hormonal demand for junk food, and as if that's not enough, your body can also become leptin resistant. Now, leptin is the hormone that's supposed to tell your brain, hey, we're good, we're full, you can stop eating now. But when your brain stops being able to hear that signal, you just stay hungry. You keep eating way past the point where your body has had enough. So you put those two things together and you've got this vicious feedback loop. Your brain is screaming for high-calorie food, and at the same time, it can't hear the signals telling it to stop. At this point, you're not fighting a craving anymore. You're fighting your own hijacked biology. Willpower doesn't stand a chance. Okay, look, I know this all sounds pretty dramatic, but if you think it's an exaggeration, just wait until you see the numbers. The data shows that the advice we've all been given for decades just plain isn't working. Let's just take sugar. The World Health Organization recommends an upper limit of 50 grams a day. The average person, they're consuming more than double that, 107 grams a day. And here's the real kicker. Most of it isn't from cake and candy. It's hidden in stuff that doesn't even taste sweet, like pasta sauces and bread. And then there's this statistic. Honestly, this one is just staggering. Only 10%, 1 in 10, of people who try to lose weight actually manage to lose 10% of their body weight and keep it off for a single year. That's a 90% failure rate. That's proof right there that telling people to try harder and eat in moderation is a complete and total failure. So, what on earth is the answer if extreme diets don't work and moderation is a biological trap? Where does that leave us? Well, the solution isn't about deprivation. It's about getting smart and changing how you get the foods you love. The whole strategy is to figure out what your non-negotiable trigger foods are. You know, the things you feel like you just can't live without. Then, instead of buying the factory-made version, you make your own healthy substitute. You still get all the satisfaction, but you control everything that goes into it. You get to cut out all the junk that fuels that addiction cycle. Now, I've got to be honest with you. At first, your homemade versions might taste a little bland. That's the addiction talking. But the amazing thing is, if you can just stick with it for 2 or 3 weeks, your taste receptors will literally heal themselves. They reset, and all of a sudden, you'll start tasting how delicious real natural food is again. So here's what it all boils down to. It's time to stop blaming yourself. This isn't a moral failing or a lack of character. It's a physiological problem, driven by a food environment that is designed to get you hooked. The way out isn't by white-knuckling it with more willpower. It's by outsmarting the system with smart, strategic substitutions. Just understanding that the trap exists is the first step to getting free. Once you can see the mechanism, you're not a victim anymore. You're a strategist. You can start planning your way out. So think about it for a second. What's that one trap food in your life that you're ready to outsmart first? Dear friends, if you liked the video, please leave a reaction. Ask your questions in the comments if something remains unclear. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have prepared a lot of interesting topics for you.